Welcome to this new video. Welcome to my channel. And so recently I talked about the fireball visual about how we exchange things with others and how we keep dramatic situations alive in our lives and how we can take a different approach and neutralize them and allow them even to stop happening. Those dramatic reactions of others surrounding us. But today I want to talk about how to go from crisis mode to relief. And in terms of guidance that I share, or in terms of what I see in others around me, I understand we can get to a point of a crisis mode, right? We've all had it. We call it the lows, we call it uncomfortableness, we call it a state of something really not pleasing. And usually this becomes the objective of our resolving. Like we focus our attention to it and we need to resolve and we need to figure it out and we need to understand it. And we need to just get out of that, right? We want relief. But do we? Because for a very long time, I've been living in a crisis mode, I would say, in extreme, excessive amounts of pain. But I didn't have a concept of relief. Relief was something new to my dictionary. I didn't even know what that really meant. So take a second to think about the word itself, relief, or the word of what do you really want to feel, what it is you really want to feel, right? Because relief to me today is something I can imagine, I can experience it, and I know that from now I can move it further. I can experience more of relief, and the more we experience relief, then the opposite polarity, which is the crisis, which is the pain, which is the extreme situation, the more it doesn't have space because we fill our reality with the opposite polarity. Okay, this is what neutralizes the thing. Because if we have low understanding of relief and a big understanding of crisis, we know the crisis, we know how bad it can get and even worse. So without knowing, we focus our energy more on that. We focus more on that crisis mode. If we are experiencing anxiety, all we focus on is anxiety because we don't want it. But this is suppressing the anxiety, which allows it to grow because we're focusing on it. The more we focus on it, I have this problem. We talk about it. We define ourselves with it. We talk about depression. We talk about pain. Of course, I talk about it because it's a big taboo topic, and I feel like with the bringing it to life, I give you a different perspective on things. So I have freed myself to use even the word of pain. But before, my relationship was, wow, we can't even say that name because it will mean that we're multiplying it, we're opening it, right? But it's the relationship we have with that crisis mode, with that pain, and the relationship we have with that relief. That changes actually things, that changes how we experience. Because what I'm going to invite you to do next time you have your crisis mode is completely change what you're doing, what you're saying to yourself, what your thought process is. Change it however you need to change it, but it's gonna be with acceptance, with trust, with even being proud of you, to allowing yourself to experience that large amount of feeling. Becoming actually proud of yourself experiencing something that you see as negative, as terrible. Becoming extremely proud Wow, anxiety. Anxiety is a lot about narrowing ourselves, about limiting ourselves because we're afraid to shine. But it is built up of relevant stories that we have been telling ourselves for years, centuries. It comes connected to the ancestral line. What they were telling themselves, we have adopted. And it has a relevant place, and we are experiencing everything for a reason. So allowing yourself to view even anxiety or pain in itself as something you can be proud of. Wow, look at the largeness of the crisis mode I allow myself to feel, and at the same time I accept myself with it. I accept myself with what I'm experiencing, with how I'm feeling right now in that crisis. And I step up for myself and I defend myself, not in the victim mode, saying, well, I have this, so I'm special. Not making yourself special with something that's a crisis, uncomfortable situation mode. Not labeling yourself with it, but truly within yourself, not announcing it necessarily, but within yourself, accepting yourself. Yes, I accept myself even in my crisis mode, in my lowest point, where I'm afraid they're gonna judge me, when I'm afraid they're gonna reject me, when I'm afraid they're gonna threaten me or whatever, they're gonna take things from me or whatever I threaten. But I decide to be there for myself, to be proud of myself. Yes, finally I have enabled myself to feel what I'm feeling. With this actually comes the relief. And this is often what we avoid, going through the crisis itself. We suppress it until possible, but the suppressing it always only makes it grow. And we can't really move forward if we reject a part of ourselves, even if it's something we find negative. Whenever we reject something about ourselves by judging it, by saying it's a wrong thing to be feeling, we are suppressing it. And most likely we will be circling ourselves in that situation over and over again. We will be subconsciously attracting situations in a similar triggering like mode, right? And it will just keep coming, repeating itself until we have the tools to understand it, to accept ourselves with it, and eventually to surrender to it. Because at the point, the phases we pass through from the victim to the creator, to the surrenderer, to the being. So in the state of being, we can accept only everything about ourselves, about our reality. We have taken all the responsibility over ourselves, that we have created everything, every experience. And we allow ourselves to accept, okay, maybe I'm gonna have lows and I'm there for myself. Maybe I'm gonna have highs and I'm there for myself. And during all of this, I curate my alignment. I curate my grounding. I curate me being there for me no matter what. This is what changes the reality. This is where the magic starts happening, where people start supporting you. They start holding you. They start accepting you. Whatever you have been longing for, whatever respect you have been waiting for from the others around you. Until you give it to yourself, until you accept yourself in the whole, with the good and the bad, with the everything, then probably you're not going to be seeing it in your reality until you honestly tell yourself, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm not meant to be. I'm not without mistakes. I'm not meant to be. I'm meant to make good decisions. I'm meant to make mistakes. I'm meant to experience all of this. And only by allowing it, we start learning about it. We start surrendering to it, and it all starts flowing. Because the bad, one more layer of this just came in. The seemingly bad is a part of us, is a part that we have been suppressed. And the more we judge it around ourselves, the more we say, well, me, I would never ever would I. This is the judgment. This is the limitation. This is the selection. And the selection is denial. Selection of yourself is ego, is saying, I'm only good, I only have good intentions. But you can only have good intentions for yourself, which are a whole spectrum. We are consisted of a whole spectrum of emotions, of a whole spectrum of experiences. And seriously, as cliche as it might be, without the bad existing, you won't recognize the good. So you must accept both for your inner peace, for the harmony to reinstate itself, for your alignment to come to place, for you to be, and connected to that knowing. So this is it for crisis mode, from crisis mode to relief. Hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.